All right, let's just dive right in. We've all heard it a million times. Data is the new oil. It's the lifeblood of modern business. But honestly, for the people who are actually in the trenches working with it every day, it feels less like a valuable resource and more like, well, like trying to drink from a fire hose. So today, we're going to talk about a whole new way to tame that chaos and finally find the clarity you've been looking for.
I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It's the one that keeps data scientists, engineers, and analysts staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. You have this gut feeling that the answer you need is buried somewhere in the company's systems, but finding it feels like this impossible treasure hunt. You're digging through databases, you're sifting through dashboards, you're pinging colleagues on Slack, just hoping someone knows where the map is. It is a universal frustration. But what if it didn't have to be that way?
And that really gets to the heart of the problem. We're all dealing with this modern data maze. See, your data isn't just sitting in one neat little box. Oh no, it is a sprawling, constantly growing labyrinth of different databases, APIs, dashboards, you name it. It's got hidden passages and dead ends around every corner. So it's really no wonder that just trying to find your way through it feels completely overwhelming. Now, just take a look at this. Does any of this hit a little too close to home? Your data is trapped in these different silos, making it nearly impossible to see the big picture. What should be a simple question turns into this epic quest for answers. And then there's that nagging fear in the back of your mind, right? That if you make one tiny change, the whole house of cards could come crashing down. Yeah, we've all been there. But what if you didn't have to navigate that maze blindfolded? What if you had a compass, a tool that could actually guide you through the chaos? Well, that's exactly the promise of this new wave of data discovery tools. They're all about cutting through the complexity and making data truly accessible to everyone, not just a handful of specialists. This slide just nails the difference. The old way, it was like trying to build a skyscraper just to get a decent view of the city. You'd spend months, maybe even millions, on some massive, clunky enterprise data catalog that only a few people actually knew how to use. The new way is like launching a drone. It's lightweight, it's incredibly fast, and it gives you that bird's eye view of your entire data landscape in just minutes. And the best part? It's often open source, so it's always getting better. Okay, so what's the first superpower that comes with this new approach? It's the ability to search everything. Just imagine having a single search bar, like Google, but for all of your company's data. One place where you can instantly scan every database, every API, and every dashboard in your entire organization. Just let that sink in for a moment. Seconds. Not hours, not days, and definitely not weeks of chasing people down. The power to get answers to your data questions in seconds is an absolute game changer. It's the difference between moving at the speed of business and, well, being stuck in traffic. And look, when we say everything, we really mean everything. This is not just about searching your databases. We're talking about tracing the entire journey of your data, from the raw logs sitting in a cloud storage bucket to the real-time events flowing through your message queues, all the way to those polished dashboards that your executives are looking at. The whole shebang. But here's the thing. This isn't just a simple keyword search. It's way more powerful. Think of it like a superpower for finding data. You can start with a really broad search, maybe something like customer data, and then drill down with just laser-like precision. You can filter by who owns the data, when it was last updated, by its quality score, whatever you need. It's the perfect blend of simplicity and raw power. Okay, so you've found the data you were looking for. Awesome. That's a huge win. But finding the data, that's really only half the battle. To truly trust it, you have to understand its context. Where did it come from? How has it been changed? Who else is using it? And that brings us to the second superpower of this new approach, the ability to see exactly how everything connects. This is where the magic really happens. It's a feature called data lineage, and honestly, it's like having a GPS for your data. With just a single click, you can see the entire journey of any piece of data, from the moment it was born all the way to the report it ends up in. It's a living, breathing map of your whole data ecosystem. So let's imagine you're about to make a change to a really critical sales dashboard. Before you touch anything, you can use data lineage to see a complete, interactive picture of all its dependencies. You can see exactly which tables are feeding it, which APIs are pulling data from it, and what other dashboards rely on it. It's basically like having X-ray vision for your data. Which brings us back to that million-dollar question. If I change this, what's going to break? With data lineage, you don't have to guess anymore. You can see the answer right there on your screen, clear as day. It's the difference between flying blind and having a co-pilot who can see everything you can't. So we've talked about these superpowers, super fast search and X-ray vision for your data. That's all cool, but what does it all actually mean for your team on a day-to-day basis? How does this really change the game? Well, first and foremost, it's about speed. Just forget about those soul-crushing 6-month-long implementation projects. With these new kinds of tools, you can be up and running in less time than it takes to drink a cup of coffee. That means you start getting value on day one, not 6 months from now. And these tools are built for the way modern teams actually work. They're not some clunky, monolithic system that just slows you down. They're lightweight, they're flexible, and they play nicely with all the tools you're already using. But most importantly, they're designed for collaboration, so everyone on your team can finally be on the same page. So what's the bottom line here? It all comes down to giving your team the speed, the collaboration, and the confidence they need to actually win. It's about turning data from a source of endless frustration into a source of real innovation. It's about, finally moving from data chaos to data clarity. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Is your data a maze or is it a map? Are you letting your team wander around in the dark, hoping they'll stumble upon the right answer? Or are you giving them the tools they need to truly find their way? Because the answer to that question could be the difference between falling behind and leaping ahead. The choice is yours.